Celebrating Professor Moses and Mrs. Jessie Akpanudo on their 65th wedding anniversary. They say that the secret to a happy and lasting marriage, as well as fulfilled dreams, is finding the right person. Moses and Jessie Akpanudo did not just grow up near each other or in similar circumstances, but because they were right for each other, their paths were destined to meet. Professor Moses Jonah Akpanudo was brought up by a widowed mother who depended on subsistence agriculture and petty trading. Even as a child, Moses knew that to have a bright future, he would need an education. For that reason, he pressured his mother to excuse him from farm duties and allow him to go to school. Unfortunately, that dream was cut short when he got admission into secondary school, and he was forced to drop out due to lack of financial support. In time, he would get a job as a pupil teacher at Ibio Group School in Ibio Norjat. The year was 1951, and unknown to him, it was here that he would meet his future wife, Jessie. Jessie Ekaiko was the first child of a prominent village chief and wealthy merchant, Thomas Chukwu Ekaiko. She was a very dutiful daughter, greatly loved and trusted by her father, and was given the finer things in life. When she first saw him, she thought he was so tall and smart, but thin, but he was very nice to me, giving me private tutoring and helping me finish my lessons. The following year, Moses was posted to another school, but in 1957, Moses was a young headmaster of a primary school at Ikorosubong, Ika. He had also been appointed the assistant choir master at the local Kwaibo church. Jessie was a member of the church choir group. This opportunity would give Professor Akpanudo a second chance to get to know his future wife, Jessie. He stated that, "When I first saw Jessie, I liked her straight away. I admired her dedication to duties, her trustworthiness, and she also had a sonorous voice." A strong relationship grew between them, and they wanted to get married. Her father, Chief Thomas Chukwu Ekaiko, resisted this vehemently because he felt that Moses would not make a good partner for his first daughter, Adiarenang Itiaba, as he called her. He would not see a poor village teacher marry a wealthy chief's daughter. He could not understand why Jessie, who at that time had other wealthy and more suitable suitors, would want to marry Moses. He believed that the union would only lead to perpetual penury if he gave his consent. Moses waited patiently. Eventually, his father-in-law, under pressure from some of his prominent friends, reluctantly agreed to a brief visitation from Moses' family. The next hurdle was to pay the bride price, which Chief Ekaiko purposely set at a figure too high for would-be son-in-law to pay at the time. Nevertheless, undeterred, he made a deposit and contracted the marriage. It was reported that Chief Ekaiko did not consent to a traditional marriage and never touched the deposit. believing that one day his daughter would come to her senses and he could happily return the money. However, this never happened. On July 29, 1958, Jessie and Moses Akpanudo were married at the Kwaibo Church at Ibion Nongochat in the presence of their friends and family. Jessie's uncle, Udom Ekaiko, gave her away as her father refused to attend what he felt was a doomed marriage. A year later, the union was blessed with a daughter, Inobong. When Jessie went to stay with her mother, as is customary after having a first child, her father decided to detain her. He told Moses that he was cancelling the marriage and give him back his deposit. His reason was that his son-in-law had not been able to complete the marriage rites or pay the bride price. Professor Akpanudo remembers that time. I was sad and very angry at the same time, but I had to show him that I was also stubborn. I told him to keep the money, keep his daughter and his grandchild, and I turned and went away. When Jessie heard this, she was distraught, so she hatched a plan. When her father went on his next business trip, she snuck out of the house, returned to her husband's house. A very angry chief, Ekaiko, resolved to leave his daughter to her foolishness. The next few years would prove to be economically challenging for the young family, as Moses had to return to school. It was also marked by the sad loss of their 2-year-old daughter after a brief illness. But despite all these, Jessie pulled herself up and worked hard to help her husband. Moses would go on to obtain his London GCE and Teacher's Grade 2 certificate in 1960. By 1967, he had also graduated with a BSc Honours degree in Business Administration from the University of Nsukka. On completing his studies, Moses began his career as a graduate teacher. In 1968, after the outbreak of the Civil War, Moses knew that the war was going to be brutal and long. When he no longer felt safe in the village, he had to flee with his family to Abak. They lived there as refugees, surviving on limited rations and on the goodwill of others. He was eventually employed to teach at Holy Family College, Okwobak, where Chief Justice Demiswa and Raymond Ebu were his European history students. In 1970, the couple was baptized into the Church of Christ, where they have dedicated their lives to service and spreading the gospel. During these years, the couple was blessed with 5 children: Imo, Esang, Udo, Usenime, and Sutoidem. They also adopted 2 sons, Honorable Dr. Fioredu Okorie and Mr. Anefiok Obot, who have secured their places in the Akpanudo family history as beloved sons of the couple and siblings to their biological children. In 1973, the family moved to the United States to continue their education, with Moses eventually obtaining a PhD in education from the prestigious Vanderbilt University, and Jessie obtaining a BSc in Home Economics from David Lipscomb University. After graduating, it was not a difficult decision to come back to Nigeria. Professor once said, "I am a Nigerian to the core. Some people who were instrumental in my going to America had a strong fear that I would not come back, but for me, I had cut my path clear. After a brief period as a legislator in the Cross River State House of Assembly, Moses and Jessie Akpanudo and their family quickly became symbols of education in Akwa Ibom State. They established the Obong Christian High School in 1986 and the Jean and Sue Lamb Nursery and Primary School. In 1993, the federal government of Nigeria threw open the door for private organizations to establish universities. Professor Moses and Jessie Akpanudo saw this as a great opportunity and the road to Obong University was started. Obong University was established as the first private university in Akwa Ibom State in 2007. Their roles have not been limited to schools. They have also been involved in church growth. Moses and Jessie had dreamed of sharing their lives with each other and their community. For the last 65 years, they used their training to serve their community as leaders, educators, and nation builders. They have had a positive impact on the growth of the community and the nation as a whole. They have also inspired countless others to do the same. When asked on the secret of their long union, Jessie responded, "Make sure that you love your spouse before you marry the person. Love can overcome all circumstances. I had wealthy suitors from prominent families, but I chose the poor man from a humble background because that was who I loved. I grew up in a story building, but I came down to live in a thatched mud house because I loved him. He even taught me how to sew the nkayata repair or thatched roof when it leaked. Growing up in my father's palace, I observed him settling disputes between couples through divorce. These proceedings were not pleasant. After that, I swore to ensure that my marriage worked." Professor Moses equally responded that to keep your marriage strong, you need to have a strong and sincere belief in God, to love and respect your spouse and family. As a teacher, I knew that the home is the cradle of civilization, and I had seen the problems of single parenthood when I was growing up. So I decided to prevent this from happening to my home. Though my wife makes it easy for me, she's what Nollywood calls wife material today. She has been my trusted companion and advisor, mother to us all, and a voice of reason sometimes when I get too excited about new ideas. Fast forward to the present day. The Akpanudo family continues to thrive and grow, with each generation leaving their own unique mark on the family's legacy. It is worthy to note they have given each of their grandchildren unique and symbolic names. Note, Chief Ekaiko did eventually come to admire and respect his son-in-law when he noticed that he was making progress and taking good care of his daughter and her children. We celebrate this great couple, Professor Moses and Mrs. Jessie Akpanudo, on their 65th wedding anniversary, and pray that their marriage will remain a symbol of hope and love. May God continue to bless them.